My mom had complaints, so I ended up waking up late again. My mom has validity to actually tell me to wake up early, but every time I do wake up late, she always overreacts whenever I do so because she always thinks I'm being marked late for school and that apparently something's going to happen to me. I really do get marked late when going to first period because of the 15-minute grace period since the class is upstairs and we do have a leniency policy for that regarding the teacher. But my mom, of course, always guilt trips me saying that I'll be late again and that apparently she won't bring me next. So guilt tripping there, always get that stuff. I shouldn't normalize it. No walking to school today, unlike the last time. So I still got to school right around 8:40 in the morning. And for Spanish, we had our daily diary and a rally announcement that the teacher said to complete. But my teacher stopped showing that daily diary on screen, so I barely got it until much later. We had a quiz for imperfect tense coming up next. And I knew this was all for vocabulary, and I barely remember the terms from scratch because imperfect tense is very easy to memorize. Very, very easy. If it was all about that, we would have done that in less than like 2 minutes. But we didn't conjugate any verbs, surprisingly, during the quiz. But, anyways, before the quiz, the teacher did give us some freebies and some answers. And I did answer the diary later on, but I was able to do the quiz answer a lot of terms because I remember the vocabulary because of the given context clues. But if I was trying to remember one like outright, it would be difficult. And now I finished that daily diary for the last 10 minutes of class, and I asked the teacher to project it on the board again. I asked the teacher if we could learn Italian for a day, but unfortunately he said no, probably because they overlap with Spanish a lot. Now, later on, school admins, according to the teacher, are now cracking down on phone usage, so the principal's going to be going in classrooms not to stop anyone physically, but as like a deterrent. Like the big man's coming, oh no, my phone will be taken away, what's going to happen? Like it's more of a deterrent. During the quiz, the teacher did talk about water bottle cheaters post-pandemic and how much usage it spiked right after the pandemic and as they transitioned back into actual physical school. It's cool stuff there, cool lore, and how people use like the bottle caps and the bottle labels to hide answers. So the teacher used my bottle that was on my desk as an example. Anyways, next thing guys, at PE, for the first 15 minutes before class started, I played around with a random school megaphone, even though it was hollow and wasn't actually working at all. And a crazy highlight that I saw online is that during these 15 minutes, I decided not to do a local Spanish assignments because I could do it tomorrow. There's a substitute tomorrow. A crazy highlight that I saw apparently is that a Polish parliament member used an Israeli flag with a Nazi regime symbol and to compare it to what's been going on within Palestine right now. There's a lot of controversy surrounding this extremely debated stuff. So that's probably like the highlight today. It was like February 14th, I believe. Again, Poland and US times are different. So basically that's what happened. Crazy stuff. I haven't seen that in like at least a while. Anyways, I played volleyball for the rest of the time with Marissa's group, and since the nets were lowered, I saw funny moments where it kind of led to back and forth catching and throwing. Now, next thing we got for science is yet another Gizmo assignment regarding climate plus weather, and we had a substitute teacher today, and I couldn't enter class at the first time because within those first 5 minutes, I believe the teacher was doing something with my original teacher. They always let us in early on, so oh well. Next thing we got is apparently internet issues during the class. A lot of people really couldn't connect until at least like the last 10 to 15 minutes of class. At least some outages were happening. I don't know. Students during this time also watched anime videos, and my friend also watched YouTube videos, and they weren't able to finish, but I was able to finish eventually, but barely, which I'd say I was able to finish up that Gizmo too, and I tried to work on the project regarding weather stuff, but I wasn't able to. Other side notes are that during this time, a kid asked me for a pen, and I said I don't have it. But eventually, he said that I do have a pen, but I gave him one. But I told him that it doesn't have ink. I don't bring like good pens anymore because I already used all of them up. Like at this point, I'm just depending on like small pencils just to write down answers. Other groups eventually talked about what middle schools around our location are, and other high schools that are around us. Which ones have aura? Which ones have personal experiences that they may have around there? The environment around me was a bar like in a restaurant, and people were just kind of talking around me. Mostly chill, not much going on. Anyways, for history class, we had another video guide assignment and Mao Zedong's idea to kill sparrows for China, and in how the party officials died, using Red Book indoctrination of the young as a result of Mao's Cultural Revolution, and how despite his past history, he is the controversial father of modern China. I'm always lazy to bring pencils, so I took a pencil from my teacher's loss and found in the pencil file this time. And what came after is free time, and I did nothing out there, but usually just chilled in the classroom. I did nothing. I did forget my other book for this class that's still here right now. I'm going to bring it tomorrow. Anyways, for lunch, not really much here, but one miniature thing that I do want to talk about is that I wanted to talk to yet another random clique of two random girls near me, and I believe there was a boy, but I'm not sure. And they're kind of like a duo, and they seem to have their inside jokes, so I didn't talk to them. I wanted to talk to them, like once I mean, as I was there waiting for my other two friends, like I wanted to have like a quick talk with those two girls, like see what's going on. But the thing is that I don't know why I didn't. I guess I was just shy at this point. Anyways, I did refer back to that time earlier where I did talk to two college girls in my library that I go to, but the thing is that they didn't talk back. Since these people are already talking together in my lunch period, as different two girls. Those are not the same people. And I just decided not to talk anyway. But anyways, credit to my other two friends within this lunch period. Now, we're heading down to English period. The daily would you rather was a movie or dinner for a first date. Now, for English, I bet 13 cents today that no one was going to be late at first, but until a student later on who rarely is late ended up coming late. So technically, I didn't end the bet with the teacher the minute she announced the roll call. So technically, yes, I won that bet. Anyways, we read chapters Eli Weasel, chapter 6 to 7, and the teacher obviously highlighted the 6-7 joke and how the teacher said today is gonna be a problem day because people like repeating the name 6-7. And as I said, for the would you rather, she questioned on why some of us would choose movies for a first date because you literally can't talk with them. And the teacher jokes that those who did choose it literally hate their girlfriends. And later on, when a student was on her desk for lip balm, the teacher mentioned yet another really controversial school policy where medicated lip balm by technicality is not allowed. So no free lip balm, unfortunately, for that girl that was asking for lip balm. Here's who asked. Anyways, we continued on Eli Weasel's chapter 6 regarding the death marches and Juliak's death. And diving down deep in here is that how he played a violin before dying for Juliak and how other people reacted to it. Also saw how tired they were as they were marching toward Gleewitz and how during the selection they confused the SS officials. Like others moved toward the opposite side where it's safe. Like left was the weak, right was the strong. The weak was not going to survive. The strong was going to survive. So whenever Weasel made that noise, they used the confusion to eventually move to the right. They moved right, and obviously. And we also learned how those cattle cars, those people who just threw dead people outside, and how a son also in the car after getting bread by a spectator that's outside, no local farmer, ended up killing his father for a piece of bread. But he got killed too in the mob fight as they're all fighting for bread, and it was kind of interesting. Well, I also learned how people in the infirmary who were not evacuated were simply liberated by the Russian Soviet army. Not actually killed by any SS officials. Later on, we finished up the review questions. The teacher told us to write down questions for numbers for each question that we think the answer is at, and we eventually read it. We put the numbers down on the papers, and then we eventually finished it off. For math, this time, I waved to a random girl as I randomly moved down to my next class here as I was walking down the stairs. I think I did wave to her back in history class, I believe. But randomly, later on, a big funny moment that I noticed is that when I went to go to the boys' restroom, some of the kids were turning the lights on and off, and it was pretty funny, so to speak. The thing is that I say not to do these types of things, guys. I know it's pretty funny. Security would probably end up busting all of their backs for this type of thing, but it was pretty funny. A lot of people were kind of making jokes. I know someone, I wanted to do that Hi Sisters James Charles thing as they turned the light up, but that'd been really so funny. But I didn't do it. I was just kind of, I was distracted laughing at that point. But anyways, funny stuff. We had a math test soon. That soon followed after as I entered into a math class, and I think I answered them wrong for some of the shapes and theorems. And I think I got primarily the theorems incorrect. I may have got the answers correct, but the theorems I probably got those incorrect regarding side by side, and side and angle. I think I got most of them correct. Probably gonna get like a B or a C at this point because I'm not that good at shapes. But for parabolas, I'm good at that point. Well. And I was the last test taker, so obviously for those two last questions that regarded like real life situations, I felt that invisible social pressure to finish up because I think everybody was kind of telling me to hurry up. So I got those last two directional like real life questions wrong regarding shapes. So oh well, sad stuff, but it's a real thing. Social pressure, invisible social pressure.